Welcome to Cooking with LaTrey Sorelli, hosted today by my sister Gracie, my other sister Jo, and me, Bibi. Thank you again for joining us. We are going to make zucchini allarini, a traditional recipe in our family, but exclusive only to us. So when you get this today, it'll be the first time. It's actually a really easy recipe. You can use it as a side dish, but it's also almost like a main meal. And in a sense, it's got a little bit of similarity to a frittata because it's got eggs in it. So we're going to show you how to make this, and you're going to love it. The first thing you do, of course, is always wash your vegetables. We used yellow and green zucchini, just because we like to mix it and we like the flavor, the taste, and the color. So that's the first thing you're going to do. And then after that, we're going to start with our dry ingredients. Jo, do you want to do the dry?
Okay. All right, here. First, we're going to take 2 cups of flour, put it into the bowl, and then we're going to take the baking powder. That helps give it a little bit of height when it's cooking.
2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons of baking powder. There's an echo in here.
There usually is.
There's always an echo when we're talking at the same time.
And then we have a quarter of a teaspoon of salt and 4 tablespoons of parsley.
Now, you know, some people like to use fresh. For this particular one, we do like to use the dried. I know a lot of people love fresh herbs, which we do usually. But for this particular one, you're better off using the dried.
And then you're gonna put in a teaspoon of marjoram. And we have a funny story with one of our nieces was retyping some of my mom's recipes, and she typed it, and we were looking at it later, and I go, why would you put a quarter teaspoon of butter in this?
It just seemed weird.
She said, oh, she margarine instead of margarine. So
and
whatever.
I kept going, that's strange, but
that's funny.
We discovered what it was.
And then a cup of grated cheese. And you know what? If you didn't have the margarine, you could probably live without it.
Right, exactly.
You know, it's don't go out and buy a $5 spice for something.
Yeah,
it's just
I don't use margarine too often.
Then we just mix this all together.
Yeah, that's going to be stirred all together. Okay.
Okay.
Great. Really good. And then Gracie, you're going to do the next part.
Okay.
Now, you know what? We use egg beaters today.
Yes, we do.
I know. If you were making it, you'd probably use eggs, wouldn't you?
I would probably use eggs.
But you know what, though? You can also use a combination. I mean, an egg beater, a quarter cup equals 1 egg. So if you feel like you want to use some real eggs to give it some, you know, regular flavor, then go ahead and make a mixture.
Right. One of the things about egg beaters, I have to be honest with you, is nice is the consistency. They're really easy to work with. They're already really nice. I mean, they're just prepared, the texture of them, you know, the liquid consistency of them, it's really good. So to be honest with you, when I cook, even like when we did the eggplant and everything, we dipped it in the egg beaters. It's really simpler to work with. It really is.
Yes. And real eggs separate a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. And then our next step is we're going to add some oil, and we used a canola oil, a Butcher Boy canola oil, but you can also use a vegetable oil if you like, but it's a ½ cup of oil.
½ cup.
Right. You can just
Did we
pour
say
that
we
in
doubled this recipe?
Yes, by the way, our recipe is on the website. I'm glad you reminded me, Jo. The recipe's on the website. This particular one we doubled. Only because we thought the amount is just a little bit small, but because that's why we doubled it today. And then you're just going to stir this up, Grace. You can mix it together real well. Just, you know, just give it a nice little, stir it up a little bit more, so because you really want the oil to be, you know.
I don't want to splash myself.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because I do that a lot.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. Of course. Drop stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
The tornado blows through the kitchen, right?
Okay, then the next part is after you've got that together, we're going to add that to the dry ingredients. That looks perfect, Gracie.
Okay, good.
That looks good.
Good.
Okay?
Good.
Great. And then we're going to just add this to the dry ingredients, okay? Like that.
All right. Looking good.
That looks good. And then this particular one, it's going to seem like when you're doing at first, it's going to seem a little pasty. It's not. It's almost like oh gosh, I'm trying to think of it. Like something that you're going to be baking. Because remember, this is going to bake, and the egg's going to set with the vegetables. And you cut it like a square, and it comes out consistency-wise really nice.
Plus, you know, there's a lot of water in the vegetables.
In the vegetables,
zucchini, so that's going to add moisture. And one thing we tried once.
We did that once.
To make this a day ahead of time, so we were trying to save ourselves some work on the day of. Did not work. It became too watery, so we would not recommend that.
Yeah, don't do that. And you know, it's funny because I always want to remind people, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a professional cook, you've been cooking for 40 years, you've been cooking for 2 weeks. Everybody makes mistakes. It's trial and error. So when you make a mistake, laugh about it, and it's a good story later. So don't ever worry about that. It's not a bad thing. Okay? We've all done it, haven't we?
We've had some real
goof to tell you. Okay, so next we're going to add.
Here, I'll add the zucchini.
Now I sliced this all earlier in the food processor.
Oh, and it makes it go so much quicker.
It takes you all of about like 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah, but you know what though? If you don't have one, there's always a knife and cutting board.
Right, exactly, and you can slice it up, and that's no problem. Okay, and then we're going to add. This was actually 6 cups of zucchini. We mixed the green and the yellow.
And then we're going to have a cup of finely chopped onion.
Right.
Okay.
Add that all in there. Real good.
All right.
And then we're going to add 2 cloves of minced garlic.
We're getting pretty full here.
Okay, now I want you guys to know, if you don't know by now, we love garlic. And we like fresh garlic.
Not me.
Well, we put it in everything.
I know.
And I do use, Joe's son, who's more of a purist, when he likes to mince his garlic by hand, I use a press. I'm sorry, I'm a little too.
It's a lot faster.
I'm not that good. I'm not that good.
Okay.
Okay, so you're gonna mix this together really, really good. I'll be honest with you, I use my hands lots of times. I'm a big hand, because I think when you use your hands, the consistency is always better for everything.
A little more consistent,
yes.
I think.
Joe, you want to spray that with some nonstick spray?
Yes, we're going to spray the pan with nonstick spray. It makes cleanup and taking the dish out of the pan a whole lot easier.
Yeah, okay, so we're mixing this up together really good, okay? See how it's it almost seems pasty. Don't worry.
But it'll be fine.
Yeah, don't worry. When you look at this, you're going to, oh, is this okay?
You know, I'm surprised there's no pepper in this dish, and you guys like pepper in everything.
I know. Well, you know what?
You could, and again, if you want to tailor something to your family's taste or your personal taste, experiment. See what you like.
We have this terrible habit.
Oh yeah.
I go, yeah, I followed the recipe, but I added this and this and this and this too.
And I did this.
And it's terrible. So, but not really, because you know what you're doing. As Joe said, you're personalizing it.
That's right.
So
I always
see how nice that is?
That looks good.
Does
it looks good.
Okay.
Very good.
And
you
now,
mixed it good. It's
and now we're going to put it in. This is a baking dish, okay? And Joe already sprayed it, so we're going to just put this in there. Okay. And what's really nice, as I said, you can eat this almost as a main meal, but it's also a side dish.
It's one of our St. Joseph items.
Exactly.
Another
when we
one
have
of our St. Joseph items.
Okay.
I think we've done just about all of them, except the gardunas.
Yeah,
the gardunas you're not going to see.
We've mentioned this to you guys a few times, and we should probably tell you a little bit more. Gracie, tell them something about St. Joseph's Day, because they probably don't even know what we're talking. Tell them what it is, first of all.
Well, we're Italian, and St. Joseph is the patron saint of Italians. So,
do you know what I found out the other day, though? St. Francis of Assisi is really the patron saint of Italy, not St. Joseph. But I don't know why. Maybe maybe other people. I don't know.
Oh,
okay. But we celebrate his feast day.
That's interesting, but I mean, all over the city of Chicago, they celebrate St. Joseph's Day with St. Joseph's Day tables, and one of the parts of it is that you're sharing your abundance with other people, and that's what St. Joseph table is all about. And they do them at a lot.
It's March 19th.
They do them at a lot of churches and stuff.
We always used to joke around when we were growing up, because our mom was, of course, Sicilian, and on St. Patrick's Day she would wear red. Okay, and she was just her little feisty thing. She was all of 5'1", and this was her plan. She was just going to prove to people that St. Joseph's Day was important too, not just St. Patrick's Day. Right. So now we're going to pop this in the oven, okay, and we're going to bake it at 350 for approximately 30 to 35 minutes. But until it's done, and we'll show you about how to make sure it's done. We also like it a little bit brown on top. So when you take it out of the oven, you can use a toothpick, or I have one of the cake testers. What you're going to do is you're going to insert it into the middle of the zucchini. When it comes out, if it comes out clean, it's done. If it doesn't come out clean, put it back in the oven. I actually, today, I finished it, but I just wanted a little bit more brown on top, so I left it in for about 7 or 8 more minutes after that. But you could take it out then, because it's done. You do have to let it set before you cut it. Okay, let it set for about 10 minutes. It sets really nicely, and then you can cut it in squares. Otherwise, it'll sort of spread. Okay, now we think we're going to try a little bit of wine and a little bit of our zucchini.
Absolutely.
So Gracie, do the honors, please. Now, Joe, tell them what you recommended. You're the good expert at this, not me.
we were trying to think about something that would work well with this, and so we went with just a Chardonnay. And again, though, if someone wants Sauvignon Blanc, or if they want a Pinot Grigio, again, always drink what you like.
Yeah,
That's the most important
I
thing.
like Pinot Grigio. You love Chardonnay.
Yes.
I'm a Pinot Grigio drinker more than Chardonnay. It's a little bit too oaky for me.
When are we going to take a taste?
Oh, we're going to do it all at the same time, girls.
Okay, here we go. Take a forkful here.
Right now.
You guys try it.
I want a little taste.
Hey, just a little bit. And this, of course, is Again, you can use it as a side dish or as a main dish, but oh, I love this.
Oh my.
It's delicious.
Very good.
Isn't it good?
Excellent.
Oh, wow. And now we have
Excellent.
to have a little toast of wine with this.
Yes.
Oh, please. Gracie?
Cheers.
Cheers. And
Cheers,
Mom always
girls.
said, girls.
Cooking is a labor of love.
Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time. And we also want to thank our special new sponsor for La Tresorelli, Columbus Vegetable Oils. We really appreciate them and welcome.
Please click on the link below this video to get the recipe for zucchini alla rini.